Hey, this is Sam here from KitchenGadgetsClub.com and also the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today, I've got a treat for you. The one question I get asked more than any other is, why don't you specify? Why don't you say whether you're using air fry, bake or roast? And it's because a lot of machines, A, just have air fry, and B, there's really not much in it between roast and bake. So I want to put that theory to the test and show you exactly what it's like. I'm going to get my Flexdrawer air fryer out, so that gives me 2 compartments, and I'm going to cook them both at the same time and temperature with some chips, one on roast and one on bake, and then you can see the difference of what I'm talking about. And what I've got is, I grabbed myself some potatoes from Morrison's. Put this to the test because I love Morrison's potatoes, and then I can show you what I'm talking about and how you just don't need to worry about which setting to use. You know, just use air fry, honestly, unless you're baking a cake and you need the bake function for that, then you really don't need a difference here. So let me show you chips roasted versus baked. So I've got my baby out. I haven't used it for a bit actually, and what I've done is I've put in the divider so that we can have one side with bake, one side with roast. And to give you this experiment fairly, I've done 2 separate bowls, and they've both got the same amount, which is half a pound of potatoes. So that's the equivalent of 225 grams or half a pound, depending on how you're doing it. And then we're going to add the oil and seasonings like we always would. So I've got a little bit of extra virgin olive oil going into each. Whatever you do, don't use the 1 cal sprays. They really don't do your air fryers any favours, and your chips just won't be as crispy because it's like watered down oil. And then a good pinch of salt. I'm doing 2 big pinches there. A little bit of pepper. And then we can give it a stir with our hands and get them on. So bowl 1. Bowl 2. And then you have chips prepped for the air fryer. So I'm just going to give my hands a wash and get rid of the oil, and then we can get them on. Right, so hands washed. And it's out. So what I'm going to do is, because otherwise I'll forget which one's in which, I'm going to go alphabetical. So I'm going to put bake in this side, roast in that side. That's chips portion 1. Chips portion 2. So shall we get them on? So pop it in and then turn it on. And this is the brilliant thing about these, that you can set your areas. So let me see if I can remember how to do that, because it's been a long time. Press the sync button and you're looking for zone 1. And we're going to put zone 1 on bake, and we're going to start with 160 Celsius, 320 Fahrenheit, 20 minutes. And then we're going to do zone 2, and then that's going to be roast. So 160 again, up to 20 minutes, and then we're going to press start. We are cooking, let me introduce you to the complete air fryer cookbook. It is our debut air fryer cookbook. We've done another one since, which is called Air Fryer Easy Every Day, but this was the first, and it's sold more than 200,000 copies. It's a Sunday Times bestseller, and it's great for learning how to use the air fryer with just everyday ingredients. 140 recipes are included. It has both metric and imperial, Celsius and Fahrenheit. It's so easy to use, and it really does show you just how easy it is to air fry. We've got everything from chicken to steak to fish and chips to cake to cookies, you name it, it's in there. And we would love it if you grabbed yourself a copy, because we think you'll find it so easy to digest how to use the air fryer using our complete air fryer cookbook. and we'll add the link to the description below for you and to our other books. And now let's get back to the video. So it's on its cool down, so I'm just going to stop it now. And then you can take a look and see what your chips are like so far. For a recap, we've done 160 Celsius, 320 Fahrenheit, 20 minutes. Now look at them. Can you see a difference? Not much of one, is there? And that's the point, you know, when people are asking me which buttons should you press or whatever, just think they're very similar. So it's hard to shake them, because I find that with the Ninja ones, they do stick quite a lot more to the basket compared to the Philips air fryer and the Kusori, which I must admit I prefer as air fryers, but they don't have the size level that this has. I know you can get jewels for them, but I haven't gone down that route. So the roast ones are not sticking as much. So I'm going to get some silicone for this side. So you could say the bake ones that are sticking more. And then that's another thing I don't like about the Ninja ones. I don't like these crisp plates because it's so easy to get food stuck down the side of them in comparison. So have a look now, that's what they both look like. See what I mean? There's really not much of a difference. So should we pop them back on? So pop it back in. Right, sink again, bake to the left. And we're going up to 180 Celsius, that's 360 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 8 minutes. And then for zone 2, we're with roast. Another 8 minutes, so you can see that 180 for 8 minutes, 180 for 8 minutes, they're both set, we're sinking, and we're going to press start. So we're on the cool down. So, should we check on those chips? Oh wow, look at those for chips. Don't they look fabulous? Wow, look at that. Normally what I would do is I would cook them for a few more minutes on 200, but more so because I normally have a bigger portion. If you think this is a very small portion of chips I've put in each because I wanted to show you it as an experiment. So if at this point, let's say you've done double the portion size we have, then I would recommend putting it on for another 5 minutes at 200 just to get them nice and crispy. But oh, these chips look amazing, don't they? I mean, look at that for a chip. So that's roast, and then that's bake. Not much in it, is there? So that was it finishing its cool down. So what I would say between the difference between bake and roast is bake is very slightly lighter than the roast setting. And of course, if you've got a machine that does one or it does the other, then you can use whichever one you want. For example, the same applies with the steam air fry versus the steam roast versus the steam bake. One of our readers who lives in Spain, he has the Ninja 11-in-1, so it doesn't have a steam roast, but it has the steam air fry. So I always say use the steam air fry. Steam air fry is brilliant, and the same thing applies here. So now you can see the difference. So there's this urge when you get a gadget and you've spent this amount of money on it to cook it, using all the different settings to make use of it, saying, oh, I do this on bake, I do this on roast, I do this on air fry. But in reality, you'll find yourself using hardly any of them. So let me think of this Flexdrawer for a moment here. Looking at the buttons, I use air fry the most. I only use bake if I need to go to a lower temperature, because air fry won't go as low as 120 Celsius, 250 Fahrenheit, which is the temperature people use for air fry boiled eggs or for melting butter or chocolate. Dehydrate if I've got loads of fresh herbs and I just want to throw them in, and then I can do some dried herbs. I've never used the reheat setting. I've had it ages. I will just set a temperature on air fry, which is normally 160 for a reheat. And then I've used it to proof bread because it's a brilliant size, because I can take the divider out and I can fit quite a lot of bread in there. What I can do is I can do a focaccia in one side, and then I could do bread rolls or a little loaf on the other side, and it's brilliant for that. So just bear that in mind. So next time you're thinking, well, which one should I do? So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some air fryer chips on, and I'm going to load them into bowls, and then I can show you the difference between all three, because then you can see why I just generally just press air fry, just because it's easier. So I'll be back soon with some bowls. So let me give you the comparison, shall I? So these are the roast. These are the baked ones, so using the bake setting. And last but not least, these are the ones that we were doing in another recipe for air fry. So as you can see, really not much in it. If I was to give you a close-up, so let's grab one from each pile. Can you really tell a difference? Same cooking time across all three, and it's just, that's my point there. It's just presets. What you're signing up for when you get these air fryers is they've got presets for roasting, for baking, for air frying. It makes them sound like they've got more going on with them than they actually have. The fan moves slightly slower on bake and roast, but you know, just look at those chips as a comparison. Can you really, unless you'd seen this experiment, be able to tell the difference? So just stick to air fry. Bake if you need to go below a certain temperature, because the Ninjas don't operate like that and such like. And we've got a brilliant new series coming along very shortly, and in that we're going to be showing you lots of different recipes you can serve with chips using your air fryer. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube video. It feels so amazing that you've stuck around to the end. And of course, that must mean that you like our videos. So why not also follow us on social media? You can find us at the Kitchen Gadgets Club on Facebook, and on Pinterest, TikTok, we're Kitchen Gadgets Club. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great videos like this one. And you can also find us at KitchenGadgetsClub.com, where we have a membership that shares brand new kitchen gadget recipes every week. And we also have lots of great ideas, resources, tips and tricks. And we are an ovenless kitchen, so we teach you exclusively how to cook with kitchen gadgets. And a ciao for now.